Hi, this is Kelly Borsheim. I've had a long day. I've got my chamomile tea, and I'm about to take off my uniform and go to sleep. I drive people to their medical appointments as a volunteer service for the Misericordia in Italy. Anyway, last night I also was really tired because I was working on my painting downstairs, but I want to continue up with this one. So let me say to you that it feels so good. When I set up this still life, I knew that I wasn't going to want to paint it. And that sounds strange because I should set up anything I want to paint. I do want to paint it, but I also know my nature is that I hate repetition. So the repeating patterns in any kind of textile or anything like that is something that is going to drive me bonkers. The same way when I did my drawing of Entwined, which finger am I on? There's only 8 fingers, but after a while I'm like, I forgot which one I'm on. Okay, so, you know. But what I decided, I have left this painting, the live models have long since died. I put away the pear and the clementine orange because they were kind of skeeful. Anyway, because this is such a complicated thing and a pattern with design, and it's been a while since I've been working on this sort of thing, I wanted to first do the drawing in chalk on here. Now, sometimes I have to admit I have a little problem. I start piddling a lot. I'll go downstairs and find this tool, and then go down and bring this up and go down. So sometimes when I really, really want to get on it and not piddle around, I grab whatever is the closest tool to me and I use that. So in this case, I grabbed this sort of greeny blue pastel. And the thing is, it worked great. No problem with that. It's just that pastel is basically the dry pigment that you would mix with oil to make an oil paint. So it's a color, and this happens to be a very strong color, which is not a problem, but I decided the next day when I had a little bit more time that I want to go get something that's going to erase easier, because when I smudge this green like this, it stays in the pigment. Now, I could take an oil and wipe it off and stuff like that, but I'm not going to, because I kind of like the extra color in there to contradict myself. Anyway, this is just from a box of kids' so a box of chalk that are supposed to use for kids on the street when they do street painting. So I picked one of these up because chalk is different from pastel, and this will wash away quite easily. I can do like that. So anyway, you can see the difference in this color and that color, I hope. I'm not sure if you can. But anyway, I've been standing back, 2 meters back where these cameras are right now, and decide where I need the line. You know, I'm doing the whole stick out like this kind of thing, you know, measuring and doing all that, measuring height and width, and I tend to measure diagonals because I see in triangles, which helps me see the shapes a lot more precise than just doing a grid line. With the grids, I find myself, I can be off. But with a triangle, I see the different shapes of triangles a lot easier, so it works with my brain. Anyway, I was drawing in some of these, and I've made plenty of mistakes, and so what happens is, let me get away from the model here, in my garbage can. So I made a lot of mistakes, and this, at first I had this way down here, and probably what that is a problem that happens when you make something too large for the canvas you have, and at the ends you end up trying to scrunch to make everything fit in, because I see it here and I don't see it there. I think that's a tendency that we all may have with this stuff. It's just you have to recognize it when it happens and then go, okay, fine. But I knew it when I set it up that the canvas was only going to go here, so anyway, an important thing happened. You can see the repetition of the fabric. There's a line of flowers here. It does this. And this, I haven't drawn in this part, but it's going to parallel. So it's kind of going like this, because the thing is, the fabric's not straight on a grid. It's being pulled up in this direction. It's being pulled up here as it goes towards this corner coming at me here. And so when fabric ruffles, you can't just paint a shape on it like doing a stamp or a print or something. You have to actually follow the curves of the fabric. So it's going to take me a while to work on this stuff. But you know what happened last night? I got really, really bored doing this. And I have found for myself, when I get really bored, that means I have to change something. I have to do something different. Sometimes it means going to work on a different problem and then coming back to that. If I decide, Kelly, it's just a monotonous thing, but you've got to do it. In this case, okay, let's be fair. There's certain things that are monotonous. If you're gonna, every job probably has something monotonous. But I really want to do this, and I want to do it well, because I know that if I can push my way through this, I'm going to be really, really proud of myself. And that's something. So I want to feel proud of myself. I want to feel like I did a good job. Okay? So, and to be honest, that's why I tackled something that would be complicated like this. Now, what I wanted to say, though, is that doing art helps you to understand yourself and how your brain works. Once I really was thinking, geez, I'm so bored with this. Part of it was because I was tired. But the point is that I came to an understanding for myself, and maybe it's making a compromise to help me move forward. But I got a little bit overwhelmed thinking, what if I draw everything and then I make a mistake and I have to redo the whole thing? Because what I didn't want to do was have pentimento, which is the Latin or Italian word for your sins that in the past that come to haunt you. It's when you see a painting of a horse and you see the fifth leg, because the artist changed position during the painting, and in time oil painting gets transparent, and so therefore it showed all his pentimento, the mistakes he made. So I didn't want to have you see this flower here, for example, be there, be there, be there, be there, or some semblance of that. It's already bad I made a cover up there because I wanted it to be opaque. Whatever I had underneath, I don't even remember anymore. But my point is that last night I gave myself permission to say, I have blocked in the major shapes. Everything else at this point is going to relate to that. So, why don't I start painting these things that are close to the teapot here? And then maybe by the time I painted a few of those, one, I will understand a lot more about the pattern of the fabric. I'll also have a better understanding of how to tackle, because each of these designs is made up of woven things, and it's a different kind of texture, so it's going to be an interesting thing to handle. Plus, it's also receding in the back, so you can see here the shadow is not, anyway, I'm rambling on about stuff. The point is, I decided I'm going to start painting the stuff that I know, and maybe by the time I finished with that, or even if I don't finish, but I feel like I have to have a break because now that's gotten boring, then I can come back and I can draw some more of this, because this is more of the Ripley fabric, so my brain can say that's enough different to give me a different challenge, and maybe I can do that. So that's where I am, but right now I really need to finish this hot warm drink and go lie down and get some sleep tonight. So see you whenever we can. Okay? Ciao, ciao. Oh, I forgot. Please leave your questions, your comments, and whatever else you want to say, critiques, at the bottom of this video. And if you could, like the video, subscribe to my channel. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on all that kind of stuff under Borsheim Arts, or me, Kelly Borsheim, okay? I really appreciate your help. I appreciate you watching these videos, and I really love your interaction, whatever it is, okay? Thanks. Buonanotte.